Hello, everybody. I'll be there in just a second. I'm doing a couple last minute things, but I saw a really good question and I wanted to answer it. Debbie, when you use the Inktense blocks, you can use either the medium or the water. It depends on how you want it. If you want it like a watercolor wash, then add water. If you want it to be a little more intense and stay where you put it, then I would add medium. The one thing I will warn you about, and that Jerry's Artorama, they got in some new ink tints and the price jumped by $12. So I'm sorry, it doesn't look like those things have really gone up in price, and I am not sure why. I don't know if it's more expensive for them to get the dyes. I don't know what, and I'm just very sorry. When I got my Inktense about 8 or 10 years ago, they were about $25 for 24 pencil set. And now, I think even with Jerry's Artorama, I think it's like $48. They're outrageous. And I'm really sorry about that. So, just think carefully before you get them. They will last a very long time. That's the good news. But they are expensive. So, I came up with a headache this afternoon. Or just not, in fact, it was just a little while ago. So, I'm feeling a little discombobulated, but I'll be right there, guys. Oh, you have another mandala to do. Now, the Inktense, just so you'll know, the Inktense it might not give you as thick and vibrant a color as the acrylics that I'm using. And still use, even if you're going to use the acrylics, still use the textile medium. It is amazing stuff. It really works good. And I'm almost ready. I've got just this last little thing to do. I tried to switch the time on our show tonight to 7:45, but I couldn't figure out how to get it to do it without starting it over again. So I apologize. Okay. They do really last. And the mediums, the textile mediums have really come down in price too. For a while, a lot of people were using aloe vera gel. Yeah, I know you can't see me because I'm still getting ready. I was running so far behind, and I didn't want to just not be here tonight, but I was upstairs working and got a really bad headache. So I took a little break, and I'm feeling a little better, but it put me behind. But we'll talk more about that. Our temperatures here were 79 degrees today. So it was quite lovely. But I think the temperature is going to drop overnight. All right. Almost there. Okay. So I hope all of you have been doing well. And don't watch the news too much. I tell you what, it's enough to depress anybody. But, all right, almost there. Okay. Okay. Oh, wow. 89. Oh my goodness. That's amazing. Okay. All right. Here we go. All right. Finally. Hello, 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 hello. I got down here and I said, oh, it's going to be tight to get ready. And then, have you ever had a day where you just feel like that your feet are in quicksand and the harder you try, the behinder you get? That has been my day. So it is good to see you. Your friend's mom, 100. Whoa. Well, happy birthday to your friend's mom. That is quite an accomplishment. So I'm here. Now, have you ever had one of those days where you just feel what I call discombobbled? And it's just, I don't know, you don't feel like your normal self. You don't feel like you are on top of your game. You're just kind of, well, that's me today. And and then tonight I realized I got my hair cut, and I mean, I told her, give it a haircut, and she did. And so all of a sudden, the reason I couldn't come on camera is I had curlers in my hair. I was trying my best to get my hair to do something. And I would like to think that I would just come on here and not worry. But vanity, I suffer from it. And so anyway, I wanted to try to get it. You don't sleep well, so I do understand. I do understand. Well, she evened up the layers in the back, which I think is good because, I kind of just take the scissors and whack it. And so I kind of confessed to her before she started cutting because I always make their job harder. But anyway, all right. So this is going to be a different kind of art quilt night. Have you ever, I know you've probably experienced this or heard about it, where you have an artist block? Well, I kind of had a mini one of those today. And it's like you need to work on something. You have to. But your heart is not quite in it. And the harder you try, the more mistakes you make, the less you feel it. And and then hi everybody. It's so good seeing you. But today, everything I worked on, except one thing, gave me a fit. And that's frustrating. That is very frustrating. And, in a perfect world, you would feel like that and you'd say, I'm going to do something else today. But I wanted to come on here and I don't want to ever let y'all down. And I thought, I've got to have something to show them. And I worked on this for a few hours today, but for the most part, it's not too bad. But this water feature is giving me a fit. So I'm going to be upfront and honest and tell you, apologize for it right now. It needs more work. So let me show you. I'll show you, talk about other things I've been doing. But I was upstairs and I thought, you've got to hurry. You only have an hour and a half before the show. And then the more I rushed, the more my thread broke. I had it, one of my threads tangle. It kept coming out unspooled. And you could probably sit down and figure out what are you doing that causes that, but I don't know if it's worth it. I think at that point, I think go read a good book or lay in the hammock. So I feel bad that I've let you down. This one's going to have to be finished next week because I just couldn't push myself any harder today. So sorry about that. Absolutely, Mary. I understand. And I don't know if it's because wondering about the end of COVID. Am I safe to go out or am I not? I don't know if it's worrying about this war. And I try not to watch the news too much, but honest to goodness, I find myself turning it on and the water's giving you I'm glad to know it's not just me because I'll show you and you'll see. The water feature just looks like a stripe on the work. And I'm having a mess of a time. So today I tried to get my smoky colored invisible thread and started to sew down all of these bits and pieces of branches. And it's hard because some of the branches are just little tiny pieces. And then, so that started breaking. So then I said, okay, I'm trying to stay calm, right? There's no sense taking it out on the sewing machine. And then I got some tan thread and said, I'm going to start putting in the weeping willow branches. No, that started coming undone. Every time I would start and stop, the thread would pop out of the needle. And I think it's because I pulled the wrong end to unspool that little spool of thread. So I'm going to have to figure that out. But you can tell I've done some work, but couldn't get very far on that. So then I said, okay, I've got to work on this water. So I zigzagged down each edge to give it that dark edge. I put new fabric on the center because the other just started looking muddy. I put new fabric around this edge because trying to use Inktense to do little tiny sprigs of grass was not working. It made it look dirty. So I ripped all that fabric off and put new on and used some of my brand new fabric. And someone asked, how are we going to make the water look like water? I have some, hold on, let me think of the name. I wrote it down, I think, here. And it is, what is that flossy kind of stuff that sticks to itself when you melt it? And it comes in little packages, and it's that flossy, I've forgotten the name of it, but I'm going to be using that on this water also. But once the stick, now that I look at it here, okay, so it's looking a little bit like a stick coming out of the water. This is looking a little bit like a shadow. All right, so maybe if I just calm down and work on it over a period of days instead of trying to do it all in one day. Angelina Fiber, thank you so much. Thank you, Charlene Piper. And Jody, great job. So I'm going to use some Angelina fibers. And what I'm going to do, and I'll show you this next week, is I'm going to kind of lay them out on one of the silicone sheet ironing sheets and cover it over and then iron it. And it'll make like a little bit of like fabric out of the shiny stuff. And then I'll cut and place it just where I want reflections. So anyway, but I've got to keep working on this. It's too wide here without enough stuff going on. I've just got to work on it. It's not working right now. And sometimes when I do one of the landscapes, everything falls in place. Then the other time, it makes you crazy. And you know what? This is supposed to be for fun. This is supposed to be creative. So, yeah, water and ice, good one. Good one. So then I wanted to show you where I've started doing some thread painting. Can you see the stitching lines? And I want to do some thread painting to create shadows and things. And so I did my invisible stitching on the birdhouse. Then someone mentioned, I forget who, that I should put Mark and my initials on one of the trees. So there that is. I got that done. And then I put some more snow bits, like around this part of the back of the house. I put some white fabric. Then on the front side corner, I put more snow at the base of the trees to try to make them more grounded. I did some Inktense work and filled in the wooded area. Then I did some more work on giving a sense of depth to the front here. I added some white fabric to be snow piled up against these fence posts. And I was hoping, I'm going to take acrylic paint and white acrylic with a very thin brush, and I'm going to add the snow to the branches, the trees and stuff, the snow to the spruces, the snow along the top rails of the fence once I get my thread painting done. That's going to be the last thing I do. Well, until I get the fence painting done, or get my thread painting done, I'm not going to be able to. But I've added a lot more depth. I added the kind of image of a sidewalk or a path through the snow coming around. So I'm getting there. I can't wait to do the thread painting on the spruces because Bonnie Langenfeld taught me that. And then I can't wait. I'm going to do thread painting on the little cabin to delineate the siding on it. So I've got a lot of things that I want to do that I'm trying to do. Let me pull this over a lot more light so you can kind of see where I have been working on shading. In fact, I put some new fabric in. I had too much of blue that was kind of making it look like the sky was down here, but the sky's up there. Oh, and then I went back up here and I lightly touched up this area again. And now I'm going to leave it be. I'm happy enough with that. So really, I think if you look at it, my biggest problem is the water area. And once I get all the thread painting done, and then I take a very light fan brush and just lightly, I'm going to thin the white acrylic just a little bit. And then once I go and I put the snow on the branches and, here and there, everywhere, just kind of touch everything with that little bit of snow, I think it'll be good. But, so I kind of wish I had more to show you on that. But I do have something to show you. Do you see this? Oh, thank you, Jeannie. I forget who told me to do that. Somebody said, oh, Deb, you need to put carved initials on the trees for you and Mark. And I thought that was so cute. So let me see who is here. And then I will show you my mandala swirl. Part of the problem I don't want to work on the snowy landscape is because I am liking Oh, oh, good, good, yes. And let me grab this real quick, and because I can show you this. So, all right, but let me see who is here. I'm so excited to see you all. And I promise by next week, I'm going to start much sooner and I'm going to get it done. So, Jody, wow, you were here fast. And Debbie and Barbara and Polly, Charlene Piper. And it's so good to see you, Barbara Smith, you sweetie. Marcia, our welcome wagon lady. She's so cute. Your sister has her birthday on March 11th. My little Russell, my grandson's going to be 3 on the first day of spring. Hi, Cheryl. Oh, it's so good to see you, Cheryl. Okay, hold on. My computer acts up today. I tell you the truth. Okay. So good to see Cheryl. And then Mary, there she is. It is so good to see all of you. And I've been getting pictures from some of you. I'm very, very excited. And the card, Marsha, your card got stuck in the ATM. Oh, I'm so sorry, honey. Oh, that's awful. So anyway, but Mary, thank you for sharing that you have had a hard time with your creativity too. Because, it's like you've heard of writer's block, and writers will say, oh, they're having a hard time and they're stuck. It doesn't often happen to me, but when it does, it's extremely frustrating. So I'm so glad y'all. Polly is here. I'm so glad y'all told me about the Angelina fibers because my brain just totally went gone. So hello, Ateli Roseanne Hagelin. Oh, so good to see you. Good evening to you too. Thank you. I can kind of tell what you're saying. I wish I could speak back to you in your own language, but thank you for joining us. So you would lighten the border color maybe to a bluish hue. Okay, and what border color, I wonder? Yes, the snow does give off because it reflects from the sky. Snow itself has no color. It is clear little tiny flakes, and when they pile up together, they look like white, but they also reflect whatever color is around them. It's Oh, yeah, the mojo disappears. And hi, Miss Carol. Linda McCollum. Hi. I was running a little late today myself, but oh, you are so busy, Barbara, for your granddaughter's wedding. Oh, that's terrific. No, that comes first. I definitely understand. Oh, you found that you do better with a quilt pattern than, well, and some people feel like to be an artist, you have to be able to just from your brain paint a beautiful picture. But that's not how almost everyone does it. Everyone else has to look at an inspiration or draw their own inspiration or take a photograph of people or go to that special site and do, what is it called? On plain air. And that means out with the actual subject that you're going to. I was trying to say it the French way and I can't, so I'm not. But anyway, but don't worry if you need something in front of you to handle that. And what makes you an artist is if you can recreate that, what you see, and put it on something. And I sometimes say, I'm kind of a little copycat monkey see, monkey do person. And so, but to be able to come out of your head, very, very few people can do that. All right. So I will show you this next thing because I've been loving it. And that's part of my problem. All I want to do is paint this. So here is, and don't forget, I have this pattern for free. I can email it to you if you send me an email at ourtimetoquilt@twc.com. And then what you would do is you would put it on, trace it on a very well washed background material, because this would even be beautiful with a black background, you know? And so you trace it and then you quilt it. And I put 2 layers of polyester batting. And here is what I have on the back of it for right now, because that didn't really matter. And then once you've quilted it, you clean it up, get rid of any stray thread. Oh, thank you, Carol. I was hoping she'd do that, but I thought I'm not going to ask her because if she's, oh, thank you, sweetie. I am loving it. But let me tell you, even this is where the artistic nature. Oh, oh, that's sweet. So I had to go back and repaint some of these. I'll tell you which ones. The dark red I had put on here started to look a little purplish because I had used a maroon kind of paint. What's the other color? There was another color that starts with a B that's kind of a maroonish. Yeah, it should, except in some. Before I go, I'm going to show you my inspiration photo that I'm using for the water. It has no blue in it. But and it's probably because in that photo, it was a cloudy sky. But if you have enough of a blue sky, then definitely give that little look. Burgundy. Thank you, Barbara. Thank you, burgundy. So it started looking a little purple. So I mixed up a new batch of paint. And so now I think the reds look better in progression because this one was actually darker than this one, more intense. Then I repainted this orange because it was a little too close to pinkish. It had too much of a red hint. And so then here is my lighter orange. That one's pretty good. Then I repainted my yellows. This one was too gold. I wanted it to be not gold, but yellow. And the thing is, when you're doing them as metallics, the metallic consistency in the paint changes the color. Instead of getting a clear color, it's like got more of a milkiness to it, I guess, to suspend the metallic bits. But I did get this looking more yellow, and then I did this again and got nice, bright, light yellow. Then my greens, and I know that technically there's not teal in the rainbow, but I had to have a strip of teal for my rainbow. Then I very, very carefully made the darkest blue. Here's my medium blue. This is going to be a light blue, then dark purple, then light purple or lavender, and I already mixed what's going to be my indigo, and that will be my final stripe. So, oh, look, she did the plain air paint. Yeah, thank you, Marcia. Thank you. So anyway, I am excited about this, and it's all I want to do, and I don't want to do any of my chores. I don't want to stop to make lunch. I just want to sit and paint, and I'm becoming obsessed. But maybe what the best thing to do is to go ahead and finish this, and then I can concentrate on other things. So I'm having so much fun. Now, Sunday, when we get together, we're doing the cutest piece of art for spring. And it's going to be, in fact, let me go grab something. Hold on just a second. Let me turn you this way, and I'll be right back with it. I started a little part of that. And yeah, here it is. So I just got a little bit started, so I'm going to have to work on this before Sunday because I'm excited to show you. But remember I said it was going to be a little pot of flowers. Okay, and here's the free pattern. And I need to put this pattern page. I think I did put it on last Sunday, but this is a free pattern that you can get. And it just looks cute and sweet and fun. Here we go. I think I'll have the site where you can go and get this. Yes, go to www.studio, what does that say? StudioRQuilts.com. And if you go to that site, I'm trying to hold my arms up. If you go to that site, you can download the free pattern. So, but remember I told you I wanted to make the pot, and I wanted to make the pot three-dimensional. And I was telling you how to do it by making your pot shape, outlining it with steam-a-seam tape. And then I showed you how to do a bigger piece of the batting scrap, and then start to layer increasingly smaller pieces, so like narrower, 4 pieces altogether, and that way it'll give the domed shape, the round shape of a three-dimensional pot. Here is my pot, and I think it is cute as it can be. Isn't that precious? And if you notice, the way I made it is like you can see the back of the pot. So my branches, I'm going to have to cut little slits for the little flower stems to go into the pot. So, but isn't that cute? And look at it from the side. That's what's so neat. I love, see how shaped it is? Isn't that cute? Oh, Carol, thank you, dear heart. Thank you. But isn't that just precious? And I think that's going to make this cute little quilt. And that didn't take me longer than 15 minutes. And but it gives a whole dimensional look. And I'll give you 3 guesses whose line of fabric that is. And the first 2 guesses don't count. So if you could know, you're the smartest person here tonight if you can tell me whose fabric is that from. Anybody know? Who's the designer of this fabric? Hi, Annette. The name of my feather project, I'm calling it officially, I'm calling it a mandala, which means round artwork, mandala swirl. Okay, so that's what I'm calling it. Yes, Jody is the smart one. It's a Jenny Beyer fabric. Now do you see why I love that woman so much? She is so talented. I'm very glad that she's retiring and taking care of herself, but I'm going to miss her. Oh, so anyway, so this is for Sunday's work, and I'll show you all about it Sunday. But some of the flowers, I'm thinking, okay, what can I do fun with the flowers? I already know that I'm going to take some of my collection of bright colored buttons and have those as the center of the flowers. But I think some of my flowers are going to have 3-dimensional petals. So that's going to be fun. And just in some 3-dimensional leaves, just make it silly and fun, because honestly, the spring couldn't have come. It can't come soon enough. What do you think? So, okay. Oh, great, Annette. In fact, Annette, it is so good to see you. So, but this pattern, luckily Carol gave you the website for this cutie pie pattern. But, oh my gosh, I'm thinking some big buttons for the center. And some I'll just do easy flowers, but at least one. I want 3-dimensional petals and some 3-dimensional leaves, and who knows what else. You might have noticed, I try never to put something centered in the page, or of the picture. So you notice this is slightly more to one side than the other. And so it's like, what will I put over here? We'll see. It'll be something cute. Oh, so I haven't touched my Alex Anderson embroidery, but I've been watching a couple of her shows, and I'm so glad her kitty is doing better. So, okay, here we go. So I just thought I would show you one more time again, and because it is so much fun and I love doing this. Although, did I bring a paintbrush or not? Oh, here's one. All right. So I thought you're doing buttons as well for the center. What a great idea. Great idea. English paper piecing flowers. I don't know how to do that. I've never done English paper piecing. Isn't that odd? But I have it. I've heard great things about it. It helps if you want to turn on your lamp, you really must plug it in. All right. So ready? Oops. Actually, I did do a little bit of painting on this and watched A Lion in Winter, which I had never seen, even though Katharine Hepburn is like my favorite actress of all time. All right. So as you can see, I got a little bit of blue right there. What I do when I make a boo-boo or some of the threads are showing and I don't want them to show, I take a little bit of this white acrylic paint, not mixed with anything, just put in this tiny little bottle. And then I just squeeze a little bit on here and smudge it. That's an artistic term. Smudge it. I'm not sure that light's helping. So, yeah. So, anyway, but I'll smudge it in place there to hide my boo-boos, because I do make boo-boos, that's for sure. All right. So, when I paint, feel free. Oh, honey, I'm sorry you're not feeling well. Carol, you have been so busy. It's probably burning that candle at both ends. Take care, sweetheart. Thank you. Take good care. See you Saturday. All right. So now, let me get this open. And of course, do not open it over your artwork, just in case you spill it. Okay. These little cups that I got are wonderful. I got them thinking they would be good for holding beads, but honest to goodness, I'm enjoying them for this, and they fit well enough. It keeps the paint nice and fresh. This paint, and I hope Carol feels better soon. So this has got metallic paint, and it might have some white. Yes, it does have white metallic to lighten it, and then it has almost 50% of the fabric medium, the textile medium. And that's what allows you to use acrylic paint onto fabric, because acrylic paint normally does not want to be flexible. And so the fabric medium helps it to become part of the fabric. All right. So I'm going to come in here. And I just love this. I told Mark, I said, well, I'm not happy with my snowy landscape, but I'll show him this. And I think this is my biggest problem was when I get excited about a project, oh my gosh, I could work on it 24 hours a day. And I one time made a quilt in 2 weeks, and I had over 200 hours in it. And oh my gosh, I did not want to stop what I was doing at all. Now let me do something really quickly. Bring this light over. Okay. So I usually hold this skewer in my hand, because if I get paint where I don't want it, if I very quickly take and rub it with this wooden skewer, then I can usually get it to come up, or mostly come up. But I just sit and watch TV and just paint, and it's It is so happy. In fact, has anybody been over to Lisa Capon Quilts? She's got a new hummingbird quilt, and you can either paint it or you can do fabric. And I haven't decided which way, but let me show you. I downloaded the first part of it. Let me show you. And this is free. She's such a darling. So here it is. Isn't that sweet? So, and if you go to Lisa Capon Quilts, and you'll see her YouTube videos on this. And some people are painting it, and then she, though, thought she'd go back to doing fabric on it. But anyway. But isn't this just part 3? Oh, it's part 3 is available today. Yay. Okay, I've got 1 and 2, so I will rush in and get 3. But I'm loving this. I don't know. It's just so nice not to have to sit at the sewing machine. Don't get me wrong. Sewing is my first love. But sometimes it's awfully nice to try something totally different. And in fact, you know how I'm so silly, but I love making paper beads. Well, I haven't made a paper bead in like 3 months, but I'm starting to kind of get that hankering to make some more paper beads. So anyway, but what are y'all working on lately? I mean, I don't know if any of you do this. Mostly I quilt, but sometimes I'll do crochet just to give myself a little different break from quilting. Do any of you do that kind of thing, or knit? What do you do as your alternative? Oh, thank you, Kathy. You're such a darling. And Kathy sent me some photos. I just have some great photos I can't wait to show you for Saturday. And Kathy, I hope it was as nice where you are as it was here. 79 degrees and sun shining. Oh, and who was it? Oh, I don't think she's here, but who? Oh, gosh. I'm trying to remember her name, but she told me that she really thought I would benefit from sitting in the sun each day. So I have been doing that. If nothing else, it just feels good. So I wanted to thank her for telling me that. Are you kidding me, Kathy? Wow. That's super duper, hon. And I'll be in Denton in the middle of this month that we're going to have our springtime retreat. And now that I know I've been fully boosted and everybody there is also been vaccinated, I think I'm really ready to have some fun at the retreat. So that will be good. The only thing we'll have to miss is our Art Quilt Thursday night, and that'll be Thursday night, March 17th. We won't be doing this, but I'm going to take lots of photos and maybe a couple little movies just to kind of show y'all what it's like, and I hope you'll like it. But I'm thinking that'll be just what I need right now, because that's the hardest thing. We've been stuck in these houses. We're stuck at home too long. Okay. Oh, and Sunday when you come, I have a photo of my grandson. You know, he went into the Marines, and I have a new picture of him at his second place. And, I'm out of... Now, how are you supposed to see that? But, oh, yeah, and you know what? Speaking of handwork, raise your hand if you're enjoying that Alex Anderson. I had not quilted for hand embroidered for 30 years. And at first, oh my gosh, no, my embroidery looked awful. But you know what? Every time I do another circle, it's that much better. So, but I love this painting, and it just Soothe the inner beast, let me tell you. I also found another thing. You shouldn't keep your paintbrushes in your cup of water indefinitely. It makes the paint pop off the outside of the paintbrush. And sometimes, I don't think about it. I just pop it in the cup of water that I keep beside me, thinking I'll come right back to it. And then next thing you know, it's been days and the paint starts to pop off. So I'm not a very good, no wonder I only buy inexpensive paintbrushes, because I am just very immature in the way I handle um, some of my tools. Sorry about that. But I just thought I'd tell you, if you do that, don't do it. Because it's not fun when the paint pops off the handle and then it's all rough when you're going to hold it. And it won't. Once it starts popping off, it'll keep popping off. All right. All right. Oh, went to the dentist on Tuesday. That's when I had my hair cut. Went to the dentist. I have a cracked filling, but otherwise, she said my teeth and gums are looking better. So that's really good. Oh, Annette, send us a picture of that. Oh, wow. We would love to see it. And let me tell you something. If you have done a Bonnie Hunter, then you deserve applause. That she does amazing designs, but there are so many pieces. So I would love to see it. I don't know if I'll ever get a Bonnie Hunter done, but it's one of those bucket list things that I think about from time to time. So we would love to see your rhododendron trail. That sounds just beautiful. Oh, you just recently watched African Queen. Oh my gosh, I love that. And you know what? Katharine Hepburn said that Humphrey Bogart was such a gentleman when they made that movie together. Isn't that neat? I love hearing that. Love, love, love hearing that. So, yeah, I was watching her in A Lion in Winter today, and man, she was running and doing some quick movements. And she was like 61 years old when they made the film. I just love her. And you know who else I've come to appreciate is Betty Davis. And she used to scare me. But I read her autobiography and I read about her. And she was a very, very interesting person. I wouldn't have wanted her for a mother, but she had a lot of people that thought a lot of her. She could be very kind to you if you were a new actress starting out. But she had talent, that's for sure. All right. So, yeah, hi, Diane57. I got your photos. So I'm going to show, if there's some you don't want me to show people Sunday, then let me know. But otherwise, they are great. I love your puppies and the things your 4 patches were amazing. Isn't that amazing? Sometimes you can just sit down to do something and it comes right together. I'm supposed to be showing y'all the snowy landscape, but I had a little trouble today, getting in the artistic groove. And if you are just not into it, you will break thread. You will just create a mess. But the faster, the harder I push and the faster I try to move, the worse it gets. Oh, thank you, Annette. We will be so, so happy to see that. Oh, I tell you what, I admire Miss Bonnie. And I admire her mostly because I am not a scrap quilter. I'm afraid of scraps. I truly, truly am afraid of it. I feel like it's too many decisions, and that makes me nervous. So, someone who can be bold enough to attack a scrap quilt, I have a lot of admiration for. I'll never forget when Alex Anderson had on, I think it was on her Simply Quilt show way back, and she had somebody that said, take all your pieces that go in that scrap quilt, put them in a paper bag, and then without looking in the paper bag, just pick your next piece and sew it in place. Oh my God, I can't do that. I cannot do that. So, oh, Sidney Poitier, he just passed recently. He was so talented. Wow. Oh, thank you, Miss Diane. That was very kind of you. Now, has Linda said much? Because I am so tickled to see Linda here. I get so excited every time I see her. What a talented artist. I feel like that I'm so lucky to have y'all come to this group because you each bring so much talent. And some of you, like, oh my gosh, Jody and Carol and Linda are up in the stratosphere, let me tell you. And I always feel smarter after I've hung out with y'all. So, like, maybe there's a chance that I can actually do something very special one day. So, I'm thrilled. All right. Well, I think I have chatted about as much as I can. I apologize for having the artist block today. I really did try. I tried for hours and it only got worse and worse and worse. And so then I realized by that point my head was pounding and I said, okay, I don't need a migraine on top of everything else. So I took a break. I went in and sat down to Mark and I said, I'm so frustrated because, sometimes I can push through a light case of artist block and I'll just put one foot in front of the other and make it happen. But today I just couldn't. And I felt terrible for letting you down. But I said, well, maybe this is what we'll talk about today, that it's going to happen from time to time. And sometimes it's like trying to make a mule do something he doesn't want to. The harder you push, the worse it gets. So let me find my lid for this. But can you see? Oh, I love TCM. I'm with you, darling. Maureen O'Hara. In fact, when the Quiet Man is supposed to come on at some point. I'm not sure when. But I'm going to hold this up to let you see. I'm really tickled that I managed to get all the three shades of blue. I think it's going to work. So here we go. Okay. Let me pull back just a little. Whoops. Hold on. I've got the camera doing. Oh, I know why. Because it was hitting the lamp. But this I am loving. And in fact, the only thing right now that I'm sad about with it is it's most of the way done. So I am loving this. And then I'm going to do quilting out here. And if any of you have any idea of what color binding that I should put, first I was thinking about using some rainbow stripe fabric for binding. Mark said, I don't think you want anything to interfere with it. And then we thought, well, maybe black fabric. I don't know. But it's finally starting to come together. And I still haven't decided if I'm going to repaint this black and white. But you're thinking black, Diane? Oh, aren't Donna Jordan, her and her husband cutting all those fabrics by hand? Oh my gosh. Isn't that awesome? And he doesn't use, the pinking so that you lose some of that fabric. So I will promise to start working on this by Monday so that hopefully I can figure out something with that water, because right now kind of looks like a toxic waste dump. So you would like to frame quilts to hang on a wall? Yes, you can actually do that. And when I make an art quilt, I use fabric to frame it out. I use fabric to look like a mat, and then I use a dark fabric to mimic a frame, because hey, these are pieces of art. So I promise we'll get back to this next week, and then we will talk about and announce the next project. Okay? So thank you for spending this time with me. I hope you might have come up with some ideas today that will help you, and just sitting and chatting, if nothing else. So it was so good to see you. And I look forward to next Thursday. I look forward to this Sunday, because let's see what I'm going to do. I love this pot. It tickles me so much. Isn't that the cutest? So I can't wait to make the rest of the flowers. All right, y'all. Have a great, great weekend. And I will see you Sunday. Oh, yes, we will. Okay, thanks. Oh, that's wonderful. Thank you for spending this time with me. And thank you for understanding and sharing what it's like to be an artist, because it's a different thing. All right, everybody, take good care of yourself. And Mark is making us Cobb salads for dinner. So I'm going to get up there and have some Cobb salad. I love y'all the best, and I will see you Sunday and next Thursday. Bye-bye, everyone. Y'all are wonderful. Bye-bye, you dear people.